There's a quiet kind of pain that no one talks about. It's the pain of not knowing. You replay moments in your head at night, a look, a smile, a pause in conversation, and you ask yourself, was that something, or was I imagining it? You weren't rejected. You weren't accepted. You were left in the most painful place of all, uncertainty. And that uncertainty messes with your confidence. It makes you doubt your instincts. It makes you feel invisible, unwanted, or foolish for even hoping, especially when it comes to younger women, because they don't always say what they feel. They don't always text first. They don't always confess interest with words. Instead, they speak in silence. They communicate without sound. And if you don't know how to read those signs, you end up blaming yourself for something that was never your fault. Tonight, I want to talk to you, the one who feels confused, the one who feels ignored, the one who wonders if they're missing something important. Because maybe, just maybe, you weren't unwanted. You just didn't know how to listen to what wasn't being said. Picture this. You're talking to her, maybe at work, maybe at a cafe, maybe online. The conversation is light, normal, polite, but something feels different. She remembers small details about you. She laughs a little longer than necessary. She looks away when you catch her staring. And then, nothing. No direct invitation, no clear signal, no bold confession. So you go home and overthink everything. You check your phone, you reread messages, you wonder if reaching out again would make you look desperate. And slowly, that quiet thought creeps in. If she was interested, she'd make it obvious. But that thought is a lie. Because younger women often show interest in ways that are subtle, protective, and unspoken. Not because they don't care, but because they care too much. They've been hurt. They've been judged. They've been taught to hide before they're rejected. So instead of words, they use behavior. Instead of confession, they use patterns. And if you don't understand those patterns, you misinterpret silence as disinterest, when in reality, it was fear. That's why today, I want to slow everything down for you. Not to manipulate, not to overanalyze, but to understand. Because once you understand how younger women often express interest without saying a word, you stop chasing ghosts and you stop doubting yourself. So let me walk you through 7 silent signs. Signs that don't shout, don't beg, don't confess, but speak volumes to those who know how to listen. Let me tell you a small story. You keep running into her, but it never feels random. She's suddenly around when you are. She finds reasons to be in the same space. Not dramatic, not obvious, just consistent. Psychology tells us this is called proximity-seeking behavior. When someone feels drawn to you emotionally, their body moves before their words do. She may not say, "I like you," but her presence says, "I feel safe near you." Don't rush her. Don't call it out aggressively. Instead, meet her energy calmly. Create comfort. Let connection breathe. You cross your arms. She does too. You slow your voice. Hers follows. You smile. She mirrors it seconds later. This is called emotional mirroring, and it's deeply subconscious. People mirror those they feel connected to, those they admire, those they want to be aligned with. She's not copying you to impress you. She's syncing with you to feel closer. Notice it, but don't exploit it. Stay authentic. Authenticity deepens the bond faster than performance ever could. She tells you about her fears, her past, her struggles, but when things get romantic, she pulls back. This confuses you, but emotionally, this means trust without certainty. Younger women often test emotional safety before romantic vulnerability. If she shares her inner world, she's already letting you in, even if she hasn't labeled it yet. Respect the pace. Emotional safety comes before emotional declaration. Watch her energy shift. Not anger, not drama, just Distance, silence, shorter replies, less warmth. That's not disinterest. That's unspoken jealousy. Psychology calls this emotional withdrawal as self-protection. She doesn't want to reveal how she feels, so she hides it, reassure without boasting. Presence is louder than explanations. She remembers how you take your coffee. She asks about something you mentioned weeks ago. She notices when your mood changes, even when you say you're fine. Attention is emotional investment. People don't notice details unless they care deeply. Reciprocate gently. Let appreciation flow both ways without pressure. She cancels once. She responds slower sometimes. She pulls back just enough to see if you disappear. This isn't manipulation, it's fear-based testing. She wants to know, will he respect me? Will he chase or will he stay grounded? Stay calm. Stay centered. Consistency builds attraction more than intensity ever will. She encourages your goals, believes in you when you doubt yourself, celebrates you without needing credit. That's silent admiration. And admiration is the foundation of deep attraction. Acknowledge it. Gratitude turns silent support into emotional connection. Now listen to me carefully. Her silence is not rejection. Her subtlety is not confusion. Her hesitation is not your inadequacy. It is simply a language you were never taught to understand. And the moment you stop chasing certainty, you start attracting clarity. Because confidence doesn't come from knowing the outcome. It comes from knowing your worth regardless of it. You don't need to force a confession. You don't need to rush a moment. You don't need to prove anything. The right connection unfolds. It doesn't explode. So remember this. She shows interest when she seeks your presence, when she mirrors your energy, when she opens emotionally, when she grows quiet around competition, when she remembers details, when she tests gently, when she supports silently. None of this is accidental. It's communication without words. And here's the truth most people never tell you. The deepest connections don't begin with loud confessions. They begin with quiet understanding. So if someone doesn't shout their interest, don't assume they don't feel it. Sometimes the most powerful feelings are whispered, and only those who listen with patience ever hear them. If this message spoke to you, if it gave you clarity or comfort, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us reach hearts that feel unheard, just like yours once did. Thank you for being here. And here's something you must remember. Sometimes we think interest has to be loud, constant texts, obvious flirting, bold moves. But some people don't make noise. They feel. Younger women often learn to hide their feelings because the world has taught them that showing too much makes them vulnerable. So they speak with their eyes. They speak with their presence. They speak in silence. And if you're used to hearing only words, you miss the signals that come straight from the heart. But when you learn to read body language, energy, and consistency, your confidence returns. You don't beg, you don't pressure, you simply stand your ground. And that, self-respect, emotional stability, patience, is what makes you irresistible. Remember this. Those who take the time to see your value don't rush to use it. They pause to understand it.